Hey guys, we're back. We're here in the shop. Check it out. Issue 21 is here. It's ready to go for you guys. Thanks for stopping by because we got a great adventure packed for you here today. We hope you enjoy the whole video and let's get down to the bench here, guys. All right, guys. So for stage 75 out of this model, we're going to be doing a lot of things here, okay? You can see some blue light right there, a little blue lens, so you know we're going to be working on something really cool there, guys. We've got our screws, and then we have some trim here. This trim is basically going to be some plating, and it's going to go along the side here. So without further ado, let's get on with it, guys. Okay, so I wanted you guys to see that this is the trim that we're going to be putting on. You're not going to be able to see it while I build it and put it in. However, you're going to need 3 BP screws for this. Now, the way that you want to do it is you want to have it so the curved side is to your right. Unless you're left-handed or something, then it'd be the opposite. But for majority-wise, this is kind of how you want it. And then you want to kind of put it in place, okay? It's going to line up with the point here, here, and here. So you're going to kind of come in and you want to line it up. Start from the middle one, and everything else will just kind of fall into place, and you'll feel it. Oh well, there goes my little idea of a ramp to hold the. Have another BP screw, and when you grab that BP screw, you want to kind of screw in the middle one first, but not too tight, till you get all of them in. It's a little tidbit because you don't want to. It's very fragile, okay? It's a very fragile piece, and I don't want to break it because obviously we only get one. And finally, nice and snug, guys. That looks really good. So we're going to go off into step 2. So without further ado, I wanted to give you guys a little image here of how it looks before I go on to step 2. Thought it'd be a little nice because when I flipped it over, it looked so good. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So I have the hood open. You bring the hood down, comes down, and as soon as it comes down, it really just slides nice and easy into that slot. And as you can see, there's that trim, and it looks good. I love it. It looks good, guys. All right, so that's that. And when we add in, let's just say we add this in here later on. I forgot how that gets added in, but once we add that in, I think it's going to look really good. So obviously that looks really good. I like it. That looks dope. All right, so we're going to move on to step 2, guys. So with step 2, because I have to take the car, a piece out of the car, the main interior part, there was one little connector here, 66G. We had it connected. You're going to disconnect that. Then you're going to take just 66 Golf, and you're going to attach it to the frame. All right, on the what looks like it's going to be possibly the driver's side. All right, because I didn't read any of this up here, but it's going to go to one of the 2 front doors. But it looks to me like it's going to be the driver's side for today. Okay, then you're going to get another piece, 75H, which came with us, and that is what's going to lock in this. Now remember, this switch is what turns on your interior light every time you open and close the door. All right, so have some EM screws ready because we're going to go and begin this adventure. Okay, so what I did is I screwed these in with the EMs. I also made sure that this was there. As you can see, it's going to come up when the door is closed and then down when the door is open. That's just my guess. However, when you put this one in and you're wondering which one it is, it will tell you in the book. It's going to say the one that's marked with the letter U. So you want this one, the one that's marked with letter U. It was a pain. All right, trying to find it, but I found it. Okay. Now, I do have to say that our next phase, which is what I'm going to get into real quick, is going to be step 3. So, real quick, this is what they're talking about. You're going to run this wire through, it's going to go down the base bottom. Then you have your fender, we're going to screw that in, and we're going to take our LM screws here and here, we're going to put them into the black part of the frame and then screw it into the white fender. Then you have some JM screws, which are going to go for the white part of the frame, and those are going to screw into the fender, securing everything in place, putting the wire that we put in there, 66 Echo, along with the other wire there marked U, 66 Golf, and we're going to put all that in there, and then eventually we will at some point in the near future, we will put that all back together and line it all up, and then we'll do a light test. Then we're going to jump down to step 4. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to knock out the LM screws and then the JM screws. I brought this back. I noticed that we're not going to be putting anything. Boy, this thing collects dust fast. We're not going to be connecting one of the lights that we're going to make in step 4, okay, which I believe is going right here anyway, to go along with the crankshaft or whatever that's inside the dashboard. So we're just going to leave this alone, but I kind of preset everything a minute ago, and this is how I came up with it. There's a couple spots here, right here and here, that line up with this frame, so kind of helps you out a little bit to lock it in place. So I kind of went like this, got it in there, and I noticed that it kind of stays up there on its own for the time being, which helps you to screw it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the LM screws, I'm going to screw them first, and then I'm going to come over here and do the JM screws, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so here it is. I managed to get it all together. All right, I had to open up the hood a little bit, but it's okay. Everything came out good. I put a little bit of some blue tape here to kind of hold this wire in place, because these are your interior lighting. So obviously, you know, it's going to eventually probably run up this or something. It's there's a couple channels up here, so I don't know where it's going, but it looks like it's going to be one channel coming up this way, another one coming down here, because these two are two separate lights. So I don't like excess light wires and stuff. But other than that, this came out really good, guys. Came out really good. I think I think it did. It fit right on there, nice and easy. I'm gonna go ahead, close the hood real quick. All right, be kind of gentle with this because I really don't want to ruin all the work I just did. All right, so with the hood already done up and everything, it came up seamlessly, and there's no gaps, which I was worried about. I was worried that there would be a huge gap, but there's no gap in either side, so that's a bonus. We still have some work to do right here. I think I might change these out, but you know, I think for now we'll just leave them the way they are, but still have a strong want to change these out to make them look a little bit more realistic, because that's beginning to look more and more unrealistic to the rest of this car. So, but that's it for that right there. Everything else is looking pretty sharp, guys. This is looking outstanding. So we're gonna move on to step 4 and start building our little light. Okay, so step 4 looks pretty simple. It looks like you're gonna need this blue, this little silver cap, and this silver cap, Seems pretty simple, guys. So I'm just gonna put all the pieces there. All right. Oops, there's one more that doesn't want to come out. All right. So we have all of our pieces now. This looks really nice. I mean, it looks really nice. It's got all the things in there. You can see yourself. It's really nice. It's really shiny. I have to say that's really good. Then you got the arm for the handle, and this looks pretty good. And if there's a light in here, it's really nice because they even put in the little rivets that are in here to kind of help with the light. So that's pretty nifty. So we're gonna do real quick is I'm just gonna go ahead and build it. So in order to build it, there's only one thing you got to do, and that is to take this blue piece and you attach it inside here. And then once you attach it inside, um, you'll then attach the rest. So this is going to be very interesting. And there it is. It's all connected, put up. I brushed it up just a little bit to get my fingerprints off it. That came out really nice and easy. So our next phase is to get our little cap here, and we're going to attach this onto here. And then once we attach it on, that's when we grab ourselves a, what's that thing called there? An RP screw. So these things are really tiny. All right, so you got some RP screws, and we're going to go ahead and attach that in, and it's going to come out really nice, guys, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is all completed. Everything came out really good. You can see there's a lot of light there, but there's no light bulb that goes in there, so that's kind of a bummer. But it looks like there's a light bulb in there. You know, when you pull it up, it does look like there is one. Our next phase, obviously, will be to put on this. It's got a little notch, so there's only one way to put it on, so it's going to stay stationary. I'm going to screw that in with a SP screw. All right, and then we'll come back and we'll be able to attach this. So I'm gonna grab an SP screw from over here, and we're gonna go ahead and screw that piece in. Okay, so there it is, guys, all set up, all done. I'm gonna tell you, the screws in here, here, and the one that had to come in here, pain in the neck, pain in the neck, but that's okay. All right, they put a EM screw in here for some reason, but we never got to that EM screw. So wherever that's going, uh, I'm just gonna call it an extra one, probably a flub from when they did the transfer into Fanhome from Eagle Moss, but that's okay. Other than that, guys, that concludes stage 75. So we're gonna move on to our next stage here in this video. All right, so stage 76. We're gonna do the fender again, real easy, just like we did on the other side. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our chrome piece, attach it over to here, and then we're gonna use the BM screws to lock them in, and it's gonna come out really good. Okay, guys, and there it is, looking very snazzy. Still have to say, I really like the fact that they put the chrome on there. That's really good. Back in the day, with these cars, with all the chrome, things like that they put on these cars, and the shapes of them was very, very interesting. So, however, we're going to move on now because this ends stage 76. And just so you know, there is an R there, so you know which side it's going on. But I think it's kind of obvious because we've already put the other fender on. So, only other one place that this can go. However, we're going to move on and go to stage 77. Here it is, guys, stage 77. I'm going to go ahead, open up the box. We're going to first put in our little chrome piece. We get some more chrome that's coming in for us, so that's good. And some more here and our screws. Okay, so with all that being in place, we do have to pick up our little piece here, and then we have to grab the BP screws, and we're going to attach this on to the body of the car. So like we did on this side, all right, we put our chrome flare in here, I'm going to do the same thing on this side, starting with the middle screw, then the outer screw, and then the other outer screw. I'm going to tighten that down. Then our next phase, you're going to need to start taking some more wires away from that main interior body that we have with all that wire cluster, and you're going to have to take off that one as well, so that way we can work on the other side of this car over here. So without further ado, I'm gonna go get cracking on that. Okay, so with that all done, all right, we're gonna lock this in place here real quick. I'm gonna flip it kind of over here because we're gonna be working on this part here. All right, and just to see, you can see how the trim is there. Got our trim over here, and then we can just open up our hood, and then we can close it. All right. The only thing is when you close it, it has like a little ability to scratch there. I'm assuming it's only because it's not fully done, but hey, I like it. You know, the hood comes up no problem. I'm happy with it. It's probably just a mistake somewhere in the production of this, but yeah, when you're done with this whole thing, I would suggest putting it in a place that's not going to get a lot of dust on it, because obviously this thing is a massive dust collector. So yeah, other than that, I think everything looks pretty good at this point. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move on. I'm going to leave this open up right here because we got to put in our side piece here. So basically it's the little switch that triggers for the lights inside. So I'm gonna go and get those wires. All right, so just so you know, you need to grab the one that says W, and we're going to be placing that right up in here, okay? And should go nice and easy. Right, so now that that's set in, I'm going to grab this here, and I'm gonna put it right there. The only problem is they gave me this metal thing, nothing in the instructions says where to put it, and it didn't come in the last time when we did it on the other side. So if you get that, just save it to the side, and maybe we'll get lucky and I'll be able to tell you later on what the deal is with this. Like I say, we're just going to put these in. I'm going to screw these two in. They're EM screws. Screw them in nice and snug, and then we're going to move on to that fender. All right, and there it is, all completed. And now we're going to focus on that fender that we're about to almost put right here today. So this step is pretty easy, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do it. There's a little spot right here on the fender. I don't know what this blemish thing here is, but we're going to get that buffed out. There's a little spot for it. It's got a little hole for the one piece, and then we just lock it in just like so. All right, so now you got your little piece here, and then on the inside we're going to take a GM screw and lock it in place nice and snug. Look at that. Woo, looking good. Okay, now that we've done all that, we have one big step left to do. That is to bring back the body and attach this to the body. Whew, all right, that's in. What a pain. I also put in some tape here to kind of hold these wires in place because I don't like to have it all flying all over the place. So I kind of just put them there because we're going to do a lot of moving with this. I kind of looked ahead. So as I looked ahead, I went over and started to look at what we're going to do next. In that process, we have figures 77D and 77C. Now, you remember that one piece that I was mentioning a little while back had no way of knowing where it's going to go? Well, that's this piece, and that piece is actually going to go inside here. So we're just going to slide that in, and then once we do that, we're going to come in and we're going to attach it to the inside here. So this is going to be a very interesting little adventure here, guys. Okay, so this piece is going to go and fit right up in here. So we need to figure out how to get it inside this hole, slide it in there, and then there's a little screw part which is here. And then once we get that lined up and everything, we'll be good to go. Whew. And there it is, guys. It's in there. So now we have to do the next part, which we're going to flip this sucker over. I'm going to show you how delicate I've been doing this and locking everything into place here. All right, there we go. That's locked in. All right, so we flip this and we flip it one more time. All right, wow, this is heavy. And look at that. Came out really nice and shiny, sitting up there nice and good. I think it looks pretty decent. All right, and we lock our hood back on. All right, now it kind of locks a little bit here in the front, so that's pretty nice. All right, but we got to work on right here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab our little vent here, and then we're gonna place it here. Once it gets placed in, all right, I like to do a little test fit, make sure it's gonna really fit in there. And then once you do that, you'll have to go back underneath the car and place in 3 EP screws. Once your 3 EP screws are in, you're locked in and you're good to go, and we can move on to step 6. All right, so I put that in, and our next phase is to finally attach the bumper here. So, or the front grille, if you will. All right, I just realized that that actually matters. All right, so everything looks pretty snazzy here. I think that looks really good. So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna bring back our beloved grill here. All right, so we have our grill. I still don't know what we're gonna be doing with these spring-loaded things. No clue. All right. However, it shows it on there. I don't know. They must screw onto something. It's got to be something. So we've brought this back, and we have our cords. Just remember which cords are which. They also are labeled, P and O. So that way you know which one is which. There is a thing we're going to add later on. So we'll probably be coming back to this. I just can't wait for it to come in. So we're just going to keep moving forward. And what I'm doing is bringing in the strobes because there's no lights here. I mean, you can see that there's like a bulb or something in there, but it's not a real bulb. So what I'm going to do is I've ordered it. It should get here soon. And once it arrives, we're going to go ahead and adjust these strobes so they actually will flicker. I was trying to find where you could get these fog lights to light up. Okay, so I tried, but apparently there's no holes here neither. So I don't know. Maybe there is somebody out there that's put some fog lights on this or whatnot. But it's okay. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead, attach this on, and it's going to be really nice, guys. Right, so what I did is I managed to get all these wires to follow along here. I did my little magic tape thing. We got extra wires here. I also had to put some Allen screws here. Okay. I used some BP screws right in there. All right. So pretty much right here, you're going to be putting in some BP screws. Okay. When you put these in, they're just going to wire in right through this area here. They were pretty easy to do. All right. Now you have all that set up, and we have the hood closed because it's upside down. So pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also, right here, I put another LM screw, okay? So this is looking pretty good. I did find a little home when we put the strobe lights in. I believe it's going to go somewhere around here, and then we'll be able to turn the strobes on. It's going to be really cool when we get those at some point. I just got to make sure that they get here on time. As far as everything else is going on with the car, we're doing pretty good. As you can see, I have it upside down right now, and I got a little bit of wiring done up in there real quick to make it look really decent. So we're moving along pretty good, guys. So let's begin the adventure and keep going because we got one more stage left and then this video will be completed. Alright guys, here we are. Here are all the parts for stage 78. And so we are finally on our final step. What an adventure. And of course, this is what we're going to be doing here, which is just a one step. Place the windshield in, then take the chrome piece, put that on top, and then we're going to use 6 EP screws to pretty much screw it in, and then we'll be done, and the vehicle will now look like this at the end. So here we go. Okay, so the first part is all done. I do have one complaint, is that when it was in the packaging, there's a couple scuff marks in there. So I'm going to find some stuff to buff those out before we finish anything here. But I am going to just say that I put the glass in. It just sits right in there nice and snug. So our next phase is to grab our copper here, or our not copper, the chrome, okay, which is going to lock the window in place. We're going to go ahead and place it right on top of the window, just like so. You're going to lock it right into place, and then you'll see everything kind of click into place. Once it clicks into place, we're good to go. We'll have to flip it upside down and put the EP screws in. All right, and so there it is, guys. Everything is good to go. We have our windshield on. Everything is good. The chrome is in there. I just got to buff out the chrome a little bit to make it look really good. Then after that, we'll probably touch up the window. But if you don't want to worry about the window, you can always use this plastic film that went over the window before. So I'm just going to kind of put it back on for the time being because I kind of want to protect this window as long as I can. So there we go. I'm going to leave that right there just to kind of protect the window a little bit. All right. Because I'm very finicky. I don't want this to have any issues. So that's it, guys. This is it for today's video. I do greatly appreciate you for stopping by. If you're feeling froggy and you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you like the video, go ahead and hit like. If there's anything you kind of found as an issue with the video or something, feel free to leave a comment. You know, every little bit helps. You know, we want to make sure that this is an entertaining slash good video to watch. So other than that, guys, I have to get going so I can get you guys your next video. But you know what? You guys out there, you keep on modeling, and hope to see your guys' stuff out there soon. All right. Thank you very much, guys, and keep on modeling.